The NHS in the general election 2019. After a decade of austerity where NHS funding rose by an average of 1.5% each year, all three major parties have now published their election manifestos. So what have the main parties pledged? Firstly, funding. The Conservatives have pledged a £34 billion increase to funding for NHS England, equating to £20.5 billion in real terms after adjustment for inflation. While Labour have promised an extra £40 billion, equating to £26 billion in real terms for day-to-day NHS spending. The Liberal Democrats have pledged an extra £7 billion a year funded by a 1 penny rise in income tax, ring-fenced for the NHS. Over the next parliamentary period, this would be a 3.1% increase in funding under the Conservatives, 4.3% under Labour, and 3.8% under the Liberal Democrats. And what about commitments to mental health and social care? Well, the Conservatives state they will treat mental health with the same urgency as physical health and have pledged to increase expenditure over various domains. Labour have also committed significant increases to funding with the aim of capping the costs on care. The Liberal Democrats state they will ring-fence money specifically for mental health services alongside significant increases to funding, also introducing a cap on the cost of care. Next, what pledges are there to NHS infrastructure? The Conservatives pledged to build 6 new hospitals by 2025 and 40 new hospitals over the next 10 years. Labour have promised £15 billion over the course of Parliament, while the Liberal Democrats pledge a cash injection of £10 billion. What do the parties say about the NHS workforce? The Conservatives are promising 6,000 new GPs in addition to 6,000 more primary care professionals such as physiotherapists. Labour have said they will expand GP training places by 5,000 a year to provide 27 million more appointments each year. While the Liberal Democrats have simply stated they aim to end the GP shortfall by 2025. And what about nurses? The Conservative pledge is that of 50,000 more nurses by 2025, although that number appears to derive from retaining the 18,500 nurses already employed by the NHS. The Conservatives have also promised the introduction of a yearly maintenance grant of between £5,000 to £8,000 for student nurses. Labour have committed to recruiting 4,500 more health visitors and school nurses with the allocation of £1 billion to restore training bursaries. The Liberal Democrats also aim to introduce bursaries for student nurses. On recruitment, the Conservatives plan to introduce a new NHS visa, meaning overseas individuals with a job offer from the NHS will be eligible for a fast-track entry. While Labour and the Liberal Democrats have stated they will look at ethical recruitment policies. Lastly, here are the parties' pledges on NHS reforms.